Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the South Bay Syndicate. Today, we're going to continue our Secrets of Power testing. A little twist over the next couple of weeks. We're going to be focusing on the upcoming PQ season. I think right at the beginning of December, we head to our first PQ out here in Redlands. And so, we're going to try and focus on some of the decks that we think could be competitive in the PQs, and then ultimately deciding from there which one we're gonna bring. So, you'll see leaders like Padme. I think we'll do some Boba testing, a little bit more on Sabe and Jabba, and then some of these other ones we're seeing pop up like Yoda and Piet. We might take a look at, and possibly the Luke Data Vault pilot as well. So we're excited to start with the Padme test here. This list has been popping up a few different places, and then we've also starting to see it at our local events doing pretty well. So I thought it'd be fun to try. I haven't played much yellow red Tarkentown on the hero side. I did not really play Quinlan too much, so it'll be interesting to learn this deck in these lines as we go. Some fun things in here with Ebon Hawk, the new Warrior, and even Ray, because you're getting some draw, and these discloses give you a ping for Padme as well. So let's jump into some games and see what happens with this deck.
Hello there.
And I think similar to some of our other videos, we start with a Piet Red. What feels like one of the most popular decks right now with all the tools that I got. I was just watching some online coverage and saw some of the decks there as well. So let's see what we can do against it. We'll keep this hand. I don't mind having this to bring out later. And then I'm going to actually hold this for now and put the Han down. This will give us a disclose right away. This also gives us a red card to activate that off of. And then if they play the Gonk droid, we can just take it out. So good first turn unit here. And I imagine maybe that's what they had, and they do not want to see us do that. So we'll put the sudden ferocity. Actually, we might want to push damage here. Let's put the Cassian down for now, and then we can decide what we want to do. Either playing the Marin, which gives us a 3 trigger. Okay, they have the respawn. You know what? Let's just start swinging in. They are going to get big fast, so us being able to do 6 damage at a time will be huge. We'll be able to play the Kira next turn to really slow them down as well. And if they decide to attack in with Piet on our attack, we'll be able to kill it off with the disclose. So we will attack in, we'll disclose, and we'll pass. Okay, so on to the next turn. Another warrior. Surprise strike is nice here. We have 2. We swing for 9 with Padme when she comes out. So let's see what happens here. I think that we play Kira as our first option, just to stall out whatever's in their hand. The other option could be just to spare the target to bounce whatever they play. With us trying to race them down before they get too big, I think the more that we can do, and actually here we're just going to disclose and eliminate the Piet, not even giving them the option, limiting the value that their leader will bring this game. So we will name Overwhelming Barrage, knowing that the other stuff is coming. We might just bounce that next as well. Another sudden ferocity. We might put that on the here, see how much damage we can get in. Because we might be able to swing in for 12 this turn, getting them to 18. And then actually even more than that. So let's see how this plays out. Because we do know on the Padme flip, we're going to be able to possibly put them within lethal. If they don't have answers. As long as Kira's out there, they won't be able to overwhelming barrage for the next couple of turns. That will be very important for us. So here, we're just going to spare the target. That keeps damage off our base. We'll still swing in for quite a bit. And we'll just continue to put them behind on the board, on having targets and having to use resources. Oh, I forgot about that. That's fine. So we'll do this. We will do a damage there, and they're going to leave. I think with that at 15, 18, we're getting pretty close to lethal. I could have let them swing in with the frigate and put this here instead. But I do like them having to use their resources, although I was trying to remember what was in their hands. So maybe that was a misplay because I forgot about Piet's ability. But either way, we were able to take it down. I think they saw we were going to go too fast, and we had that Padme flip. Okay. So we are now back in Piet's again. This happened to us the last couple of videos, so we're going to wait a second here. Hopefully we get one of these other decks so we can do some testing outside of Piet, but you're seeing a lot of Piets popping up. So let's join back in and see what happens. And we're fingers crossed. Okay, we got a Luke Pilot yellow. I think Luke Pilot got some help here, and we're going to see a lot of it. We're probably going to be doing a video testing leading up to the PQs as well. Okay, this hand seems to have everything we need. The Bamboozle is huge in a Luke matchup. Marin to take out spaceships. Even Poe could be valuable, so we're going to keep this. We'll resource these two, and we'll go from here. We do like them having the initiative sometimes because we have cards that let us draw and utilize Padme on the first turn. We don't have them here, but it's definitely something to look out for in matchups, or sometimes worth mulliganing into. Let's see what they play out. Okay, so we do get the initiative here. I don't mind the card draw either. Karis is great. I don't know that we're going to get the value out of him in this game. So what we'll do is we will trigger here. They'll most likely attack with the turncoat now. We don't have to use the Tarkentown on it because the Marin just kills it off next turn. And there are bigger threats like red 5 that we care about more than that. So I do think we'll actually leave it out there so we can kill off one of these other units that we don't want to see. I think they're deciding with Luke what to ping. Yep. Okay, we have a spare the target. We will do this. We'll throw the spare the target. Kill that. We'll exhaust Padme. Do 1 damage there, and then we trigger. Okay. So now again, we can kind of stall the Tarkentown to see what else they're going to play. And we're building a decent board. We can play Cassian or Poe next turn. I think it's going to be Poe. All right, so we'll take the action to Tarkentown there. I imagine whatever else they're going to play next, it would get damage from it, so it's better for us to just get rid of it. They continue to try and flood the board. Kira is interesting because we can name some pretty powerful stuff to stop them. But I think what we'll do first is discard here to kill that off so we don't take any damage from that. And we're going to be able to pour some pretty big damage in. And so I think actually the play is Poe because we'll be able to swing for 8 next turn. We just have to make sure we stay out of lethal from what Luke can do. So there is still reasoning why we would play Kira and name Cinta. Because what does that do? It lets him come out. So 4, 5, so 8, 9. Whereas we are not quite going to be there. So the question is, do we name Cinta because we have 3, 5, 10. So not enough even with 10. Yeah. Okay, so we're going to do that. We're going to name Cinta to prevent a huge swing from them, because if we can live through this turn, we win the game. So we do want to be cautious of that. And they have a waylay in hand. Yes, they can waylay Kira, but then that does its work, right? Although it will prevent damage. If we get a hot shot blaster, that'd be great. Cassian in the row for another 3 could be important as well. And we're not logged in again, as we keep forgetting, so we cannot chat with our opponent. Apparently they don't think they liked the Cinta naming here, so they would have flipped it out. It would have done 10 damage. Then they could have drawn into lethal. And I think that stopped their play. So that was the right thing versus Poe. Oh, maybe not. Let's see. So we will claim. Even more interesting that they decided to do that. Okay, so we will attack their base. And we'll collect the bounty. And now we have lethal a couple different ways. And hopefully that's enough to stop them. And we can even bamboozle for free here. They can't play Cinta, so they have no way of attacking on deploy. So I'm feeling pretty good about our options. This is actually what, 11 on its own. We have another 3 here and another 3 underneath. So we can do up to 17 damage. So there's the waylay. We will attack in. That was the right card for the waylay, right? Because that, in theory, takes us out of range. And now they just have a 3-cost card left. And I think here we don't get greedy with the Padme. I think instead we save, we pass this, so we have the play with the Cassian. We will discard a cunning card and we will bamboozle that, and that should be a good game. Because now I'm not sure what they could play to stop us. Yep, see, the Fang Fighter would have stopped us, so it was the right thing to do to spread it out. So GG's to our opponent there.
Hello there.
I wonder if they had this into, it seemed like that did stall out what they were hoping to do and worked out in our favor. So far so good with Padme. You can see it's very dangerous, a lot of options, and when you get to that deploy, there's tons of different things you can do with the hot shot blasters, with the sudden ferocity, with Cassian. There's a lot of damage you can push to get to 6, 8, or 9 damage. A very interesting leader, and the pings come in handy. We haven't gotten past the leader deploy, but up to that point, a lot of the pings holding the board, and then Marin being able to do 3 damage and just take out a space unit each time was amazing. All right, we will keep this and put both hot shots underneath. We will need a hot shot for this, so, or a red card. We'll do it this way. Okay. So I would have loved to have something that let us draw. The ray is not as useful here, but it will let us utilize here in case we don't draw more red cards. So we'll actually put the bail down. Open fire is good. We'll go here. We'll claim. Okay. I don't know what this draw is, but here we go. And we played this instead of the Falcon because we do want to get the Pride out of here. We are only on a 25-point base, so these things can add up quickly. And I think that's what we're experiencing here. Interesting for them to do it that way and not take the damage to base. That definitely helps. I don't feel great. I maybe should have mulliganed our draw. It was not the best. Even this will be hard to play right now because we will not have that. So I think what we'll actually do is Ebon Hawk. Okay. They have the Sudden Ferocity. Oh, very nice. So a lot of cards on their side. I'm not sure that we can recover from this. But we'll try. We'll keep pushing base. We don't. I guess we do have the Hot Shot Blaster as an answer, so we will try. If they play a Phasma, I think we lose. Or if they do that. Yeah. They might just attack into our Padme. They do not? Okay. Good. Great. I don't know how to do math. Whoops. And we lost this game. I could have put this on. I probably should have taken time to figure out all the math with it, but I did not. And so we lose. Because let's just see. There's 5 damage. That's 17. And then we could have put this on Padme and hit for 7. Which would have taken us to 27. So could have got them to 27. Not quite enough. GG to our opponent. It'll be good to go watch that again. I misplayed it in the middle there. I should have probably mulliganed. That was a pretty rough hand to begin with. And I guess we're going to go again, which is good. Let's see if we can think about this differently. I do like this more. I can put that down. The Bamboozle, they played that Sudden Ferocity out, so we have a bit of a curve here. We'll see how it goes. We don't have a card to disclose here, so if they Daring Raid, we just lose on that. Okay, we're okay there. Now we have one. I think we want to play this. Actually, we need that, don't we? No, let's just go wide here and see if we can make this work. We'll take this so we can reveal these. Which will give us even more board presence. So something a little different here, going wide, triggering. We'll attack. We'll see what else they play. Okay. That's worse. So I think what we'll do here is... Yeah. Okay, so here what we're going to do... Which one do I want to kill? I think we'll attack in. We'll disclose. We'll do the damage. I think we're going to have to target down this. I'll play this, see if we can stall them out. Gosh. I don't think I want the resupply because I don't want it coming out yet. But I'm going to say open fire because... No, resupply. Just to keep... I know the Praetorian Guard can come out. But we can just attack one and target down it. So we don't have to deal with any Sentinel issues. And then we still have to figure out how to deal with this Kylo. Yeah, so we'll do this. We'll target town. We'll get some damage. Still don't love the spot we're in. Although this being able to one-shot that is nice. Sure. Um, yeah. So that'll kill that off. And now they have to play something else, and we'll kill this. And now we'll hit this so that if they attack, they die. I am dumb again. What do we call it? Resupply before? Okay. Yep. Okay, so their leader's off the board. We are going to be able to bring out Padme here with the sudden ferocity. And we're going to be able to swing for 8. So there we go. That's a little bit better. I like the Han. The Rey is probably not coming out. So we've kind of turned the corner here by clearing out their units. That's pretty good. We'll hit their base. This represents lethal. Not what we're looking for, but that's fine. It still represents lethal, so we'll see what we can do. They could have something. They could have overwhelming barrage, but it doesn't kill Padme. We were just seeing if we could get a surprise strike, though it still wouldn't have done it. But let's see what happens here in this rematch with Phasma. Very close game. Trying to think about the different options they could have. That's pretty good. But that's not going to be enough. So GG. So Phasma has a lot of power. I think if it was able to ramp, it would have been able to deploy Phasma a turn earlier and do some other things. So I do think that ended up being the right card to call. I'm kind of happy with how that played out. They've left. Hopefully they're in another game, and then we'll jump in and see what we get.
Hello there.
And we have a Luke 1 green. Definitely one of my favorite combos. Can be super fun to play with, but hard to win with. We're going to keep this because we do have a couple options to utilize Padme turn 1, which I think can be good. So we'll end up putting that down. And while I like Karis, I like the ability to disclose over and over again more. So let's see what happens here. So, okay, so they have the Alliance Dispatcher, so we'll do this. Because they're going to put a shield on it. Yeah. So what we're going to do now is keep that so we don't take damage. We'll play Falcon. Yeah, so we're going to attack here, but we're going to ping first to get the shield off. Yep. And then kill him off so we can't play anything early. And then we'll get this down. And we can do the same thing again, though it sacrifices our unit. This is fine here. Now we don't need the array. I will pay the 1 resources to keep putting pressure on their base. Okay, they choose to attack. That's good. And they have Sentinel after Sentinel. Okay. A lot of Sentinels. I think I'm okay continuing to play under curve. See if we can catch them with Kira. We cannot. Okay. We'll name Rivals Fall. We don't need that. We don't need that coming in. That's going to be a pain. It's going to come in anyway because I imagine they're going to start to try to trade here. Yeah. They want a Rivals Fall. Big time. So they have to decide now if they're gonna. They are. So we'll take care of that. I do like this Han at some point. I think it's going to be pretty good. Let's see what happens here. Okay, that worked out. Chose to attack that way, giving us a chance to kill that off. We could be in a lot of trouble here. Oh, okay, they do that. That's totally fine. Let's hit that before he gets a shield. We're going to play Padme without anything special. We're going to attack base, let them trade here. And then that sets us up to be able to trade with Han, which is nice. There's always a chance that they have a Luke. And if they do, then they can just take out our Han, which is unfortunate. But I think this is the game we're in. So they will resource one. I will return it to my hand. I will Han this. See if they have the Luke. I imagine they do. They got a lot of cards. 6 cards in hand. I think decent chance that they have it. Okay, they have a different answer. That's also good. Would love to see a hot shot blaster or something here. We're going to go wider on the ground. Ignoring their space here. We'll continue to get damage in. I think they still have the Rivals Fall. So we will kind of play this. I guess this could have gone wide with these. But I think we're playing a game of chicken with the Rivals Fall. Just what it is. Evan Hawk's interesting because we can start to ping. So maybe that's an answer. I would love them to use resources so I can get one attack in. And there's that. So we'll see if they attack or claim. What are we doing? We're doing a damage. Sure, here. And maybe they will shield. Okay. They will shield. Hey, there's our hot shot. What do you know? I think that means Rivals Fall is coming in. Either way, we should just attack base, I think, right? Sure. I think they'll have it here, but we'll see because they still have that Rivals Fall. Hey, there it is. What do you know? And we're probably in a uphill battle at this point. I think we've done just about everything we could to stabilize, and they've had all the answers. They have all the removal as well. And that's just is what it is. So they have resources to just remove everything, which is what they're doing. Actually, they're choosing to use units instead. That's fine. And they want their healing. And we're at least getting cards out of hand. There's a Chewbacca. It's going to be a problem. And this is actually doing some of its own work. So we'll swing to base. Get them close to lethal. We'll play a hidden, which will put them at lethal. Unless they have another Sentinel, which they definitely could. Oh, they have the home one for 11. So they got a couple healing here, which is big. So we'll keep putting the pressure on. Now representing lethal again. We'll put that underneath. So Unless they get a Sentinel, I do think we're in a good place. Yeah, that's GG's. Okay, so we were able to, with the hidden, get through. Good win there. I think this Padme continues to play well outside of our one, I think, questionable not mulliganing hand, and then a good play by our opponent with the Captain Phasma, and we were able to play them again and win the second one. Here we have a Colonel Yularen, pretty fun deck. This is to me definitely a mulligan, no first turn, not where we want to be. This is much better. Marin turn 2, or Ebon Hawk can start to do 5 damage per turn. So I think we're going to resource here because I also like the Anakin with 5. So a couple of 5 damage plus everything that Marin can do. And then R2 lets us take out their first turn play, maybe. So I wonder if we pass here. I guess the other option would have been, so we will pass. The other option would have been just to play this and get 2 units on the board. Okay, we're going to discard because I think that's going to be handy. In this case, we'll keep the surprise strike. This seems like a game that's going to go faster. And we'll take that out. And I do very much like the advantage we're in right now. We could play, we have the right cards to play under curve. It's just a decision if we want to play Falcon here or Ebon Hawk. I think the 3 damage now versus the 5 damage. So by 2 turns from now, you would catch up. But what I'm going to play this for the disclose. Because it lets me do the ping and then lets me get through this without any real issue. And so I think this turn what we'll do is we'll hit for 8 and ping and then get this guy down. On 4 resources, they could buff up the phase trooper, but hopefully they won't. Maybe with the new attachment, things like that. They could have an open fire to get rid of my ping ability here. A couple of options. The Falcon will open up the Ebon Hawk, so we got to remember to keep that. Okay, that might trade in. Be interesting to see what happens. It does not. Okay, so we'll get our own damage in. We'll discard that, or we'll disclose that, not discard, which will let us do that. So that's going to trade and buff this, I think. When defeated, oh, okay, more than buff it. Not ideal. We'll see. I'm assuming they're going to use Yularen, trade in, buff this, and do 1 attack altogether. Kind of nice. Allow. So they're not. Okay. We're going to get 2 things out here. We're going to continue to go wide on this Yularen. I'm guessing they must have another one because they're going to start trading out. The Vulture Joy is interesting because they're the same cost, so it's not like you can attack with 2. In fact, you can't use Yularen's ability here at all. I don't know. So I'm not sure why that was the route. The other thing they were setting up seemed to make more sense. But whatever. I don't care that much. This is going to, I think, get buffed and then attack in here, so the damage going here would be better. And I want to attack here before I play the Kara, so I don't take that damage either. But we're pouring a lot of damage on here. I mean, the Ebon Hawk has done 13 damage on its own. They seem to be racing us, which worries me about what they're going to flip. here. So Kira might be the play to stop whatever's in hand, unless they plot out, in which case we'll let it go. Okay, so that makes a bit of sense. And we'll just kill one of the tokens. They could have done that first to prevent damage, but chose not to. The game is getting close to a lethal state, so we should pay attention to that. It's ending this turn, right? So this represents 9 damage, or 8 damage, sorry. This represents 8 damage. And then we have to get 2 more attacks in. So we'll have this Falcon here as another 3, so that's 11. So these 2 and Falcon are actually enough damage to win. So let's see if we can get attacks in with all 3. And then maybe able to figure it out once we disclose the second Falcon. The other option is to attack with one of these first. Because if these can get in, it can help set that up as well. Because we're all talking about 3 damage outside of Ebon Hawk. But it's harder for them to take the space out. So they can attack here with Yularen and one other unit first. But I think we're okay. Did they play that? Oh, maybe that was last turn. So Yularen's attacking and taking that out. And then they're going to have to attack with something. Excuse me, with something else. So they didn't go to base at all with that attack. So I think we're okay. Oh, we still also have the Cassian. We shouldn't need it because we have the second Falcon. Okay, so they took out 2 units. This still represents lethal. So let's see what they do. And we have our deploy. It's interesting to see most of these games are ending on the deploy turn, often before I can get Padme out. And now just the attack with the Falcon does it. And if they put a Space Sentinel, then we go Padme on the ground. But them trading out 2 units there instead of going to base, I think saved us quite a bit of damage. And they pass, I think. GG to them. All right. Good game. And we'll go to the next one and see what we get. Interesting deck for sure. Fast, powerful. I can see why it could show up at the PQs. I know Quinlan's still out there as well. Which one is better? I don't know. Again, I'm not a Quinlan player. You'd have to talk to Jonathan on our team. He's more of the expert on both. He sent me the pieces of this list that I built from. So maybe we'll get him on again and talk through it some more and hear what his thoughts are. Okay, so we have the initiative, so they're going to ping off our first play. So I think in that case, we will do this so that we can just go wide. And we'll show them all 3. That way they can ping off a spy token if they want. And we have plenty of cards to continue to trigger our ability. The warrior going down is tough, but I think that makes a lot of sense. They have the same play. Okay. They have some bounce. They're going to be able to take a spy token out, I guess, if they want. Yep. That's a interesting use of Target Town. I am not upset with that. Not at all. They might spare the target. They don't want to start taking 5 damage. This Marin is super interesting too. Yeah, there's this better target. So we knew that I had that. Again, that as their play seems good to me. I'm going to play this because I want to see what else they play this turn, because I could play this out to do ping. It's Kira. That feels right. Let's see what they decide to name. And underneath we have our combo for Padme to swing for 8, which we do like. Okay. So what are we playing this turn? This 5/5 actually could be super interesting. Though we don't normally play Ray, I think it could be powerful. Okay. Not really taking any damage on base yet. We could still play the R2 to get rid of the Plo Koon. Actually, that probably makes the most sense. This is even better. Why did that? What else do we use resources on this turn? Why am I so confused? Where'd my resources go? I thought that was the first thing I did, and then we could have gone into this. Did they play? What did I miss? I don't know. I'll have to rewatch that. For some reason, I thought I was going to be able to play the Falcon out that turn. But according to this, I use my resources. Who knew? Sure. Sure. They've seen this already. That was their bamboozle, right? I'm going to lose my mind, I think. What the heck did I do? Did I play the Bale and it died? Okay. I don't love that. Sure. I got my own. I would like to play this Han to kill this. Okay. I will put it back on. I'll pass. I do like where my game is going. Wish I wasn't so confused about the resourcing, but I think we're going to be okay because we're going to play Han. They're going to bamboozle again. Oh, undo, undo. They've used all 3 bamboozleds. Whatever. Claim. That's a use. I think we win the game just off of that play now, because that is horrible value for them. That's pretty good. We're just going to keep them off their stuff. We're going to start hitting their base for 8. And they're going to be in a lot. Ooh. Oh my. Yep, and GG's. We were definitely going to, well, I think end it right here, right? Because that was going to be 11. Yeah. So it was over. We didn't have to get too fancy with it. GG's to our opponent there.
Hello there.
Okay, we have what I think is actually a pretty good deck, just difficult. I don't enjoy playing against it. It's just a super hard control. We probably won't get much out of Padme's ability. This is fine. This is what you want to see in this matchup. These you don't want to see as much because you don't want to be losing cards in your hand. When we play the Nemec, they're going to use the ability. We have to decide if we want them to draw a card or not. I think we want them to draw a card in this scenario because we need to get damage in fast. So that's what we're going to try and do. And hopefully we're going to do okay with it. I do think this is going to be our last game for these videos. I think we've had a good showing of different leaders, seen some of what Padme can do. Gives enough ability to think about using this in a PQ. I could definitely see where it's powerful, and I'd be worried to play against it so much that it can do. And you can see just rare in that interaction, it was able to kill off their unit. These Nemecs are going to be so powerful in this, but that's okay. Here we'll be able to kill Dedra with Marin. Just straight attack, discard a card. It's going to be enough damage. They can draw. We want to keep pushing the base. They can bring this out. Again, this is just going to kill it. So let's see how that plays out. They put a top target. Let's see what's in their hand. No name, takedown. So we kind of have an idea what's coming. Oh, they might put another top target. That's up to them. They do. We'll pass. Again, if they deploy Dedra, they do. Oh, wow. Okay. So we'll kill that off. I think this is a surprise strike plus Falcon this play. They can't take down yet. We are on takedown watch though, because that's going to heal a ton. We'll let them draw. We're going to keep pushing damage. We're going to pass there. We don't want this out here because it can take this out. So we'll kill that. We'll play that. We'll get damage. And we're just going to keep pushing damage as much as we can. Here we will discard if we need to. That's just a big restore unit. So let's see what we can get done this turn. Okay, so we have a pretty wide board here. As long as they can't kill Marin, I think we're okay. I'll pay the one resource. Okay, they can kill Marin. Even with that, we'll be fine, right? So you get the double heal in. We can, yeah, GG's. All right, good game to our opponent. We were able to rush them down. Okay, overall, great, right? I think we lost the one Phasma game. We won the rest of the games. We got the rematch with Phasma. We were able to take that. The opening draw is definitely important. I think the more you play, the more you get comfortable with it. I think Ebon Hawk did great. Obviously, the Hot Shot and Sudden Ferocity were powerful. Karis is amazing. The Warrior is great. So this leader really got a lot of parts from the new set that help with its ability and help it control the board and go fast. So it's really something special to play with. I have Poes in mind. I haven't seen them in all of them, but I do like Poe as a finisher. When you draw Ray, it feels amazing. So overall, good deck, a lot of fun. Highly recommend you try it. Probably going to see it at your PQ, so definitely mess with it for testing at the very least. I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.